Hello and welcome in to the Stars and Pars podcast. This is your host, Evan Ingle, and this is the show where golf betting meets astrology. Welcome to all who are new, to all who are recurring listeners. I really appreciate you guys who have been supporting this for since I guess last July when I first started this podcast. If you watched last week, I had a special guest on LCT from the Sportsbook Reddit page. If you've followed me from there, we had a really good episode about the Masters and stuff, and it was my biggest episode yet. I not that like I'm getting thousands and thousands of views or anything like that yet, but I had the most views on YouTube, the most listens I've ever had on Spotify. I've gained the most subscribers and followers I've ever had in 1 week setting. So thank you all to you guys who joined and are part of the Stars and Pars community now. I appreciate you guys. We're just continuing trying to grow this podcast every single week and give you guys the best picks that I can come up with. So if you are new to this show, I use astrology to make my picks every single week. I'm not going to really explain how astrology works. It's just kind of something you either buy into or don't. But it's pretty. It blows my mind every single week. Still, like when I get a winner or predicted certain signs are going to play well. It's just a way I read players' birth charts and compare it to what's actually going on in the sky in the current transits, astrologically speaking, at least. And something in astrology, there's 12 houses, right, that represent each sign and whatnot. But basically, there's something called the 10th house of career and public visibility and recognition, and that's pretty much what I target when I make my picks. It's which player is going to have the biggest 10th house career, potential breakthrough week every single week. So last week, Rory was one of my picks. We obviously got that right. It was a little bit of a nail biter, and I had a feeling it was going to be, but ultimately, Rory had literally the most ideal chart career wise last week. Some weeks are easier to read than others, but last week Rory's chart just screamed at me. Despite the whole, it's tough to repeat a Masters victory. He's got all the responsibilities as the former winner, the dinner, just the drive, chip, and putting thing, just everything he's got to show up for. People were not very on Rory last week, but I just looked at his chart and I talked about it with LCT. I was not going to be surprised if he ended up repeating, especially with doing it last year and getting the monkey off his back. And he just talked about feeling free, and it was pretty awesome to see. So we'll get into that all in a second. But real quick, if you haven't already, please, I got to be annoying, I'm trying to grow the podcast. Like, share, and especially subscribe to this on YouTube if you're watching there. If you're listening on Spotify, please follow me on the Stars and Pars podcast and Spotify. And also, please, give me a 5-star rating on Spotify. That like exponentially helps the podcast grow, helps the algorithm get recognized when people are searching. So if you've done that already, thank you. I appreciate you guys so much. And hopefully you all have been tailing some of these picks. So let's my podcast site's kind of being weird, so it might stop recording, but I'm gonna have audio through video, and I'm also recording on my phone, so we should be okay. But anyway, let's get into, I'm trying to make this under 50 minutes, so let's see how I do this week. But let's go over last week's picks real quick. It was just one tournament. We'll get through real quick, and then we're going to move on to the 4 tournaments that we have for this week, okay? So obviously last week I took Rory. I got him at plus 1,025. It ended up getting up to plus 1,200 at some point. I was already took the number though. But it's all good because he ended up winning. So that covered pretty much all of the outright picks. But then we did also get Rory top 5 at plus 196. And also Cam Young at plus 400. He had to make that last putt to stay in the top 5. It was T3. We kind of pushed that a little bit. But whatever, it's still a hit. Top 10, Colin Morikawa came through at plus 215, especially on the weekend, despite looking like he was a crippled old man. He fought through it, and he was I mean, not in the mix, but he, finished top 10 at, with a hurt back on a Aquarius moon weekend, and his whole chart is a ton of Aquarius. So that was a solid pick. Um, and then almost had Gary Woodland top 30. He was one stroke off. He finished tied 33. So that was a bit of a bummer. But we also got Rory, first round leader, at plus 1950. Dang, wire to wire, Rory would have been a nice hit too. I didn't even think about that. But regardless, we ended up having to split it because Sam Burns also had his share of the lead after day one. But regardless, we came away with profit, and that's all I ever care about. Dude, if I come away with one unit every single week, I look at that as a victory. That's just kind of how I play betting golf. Some people might call me like a bad better of golf just because like I'll take a lot of bad numbers. But I mean, looking at just this year alone, I'm in double digits in terms of outrights across the PGA, the LPGA Champions Tour, KFT, and LIV. So we're sitting pretty in the profit, as humbly as I can say that. We're not trying to get ahead of ourselves. We're not trying to get cocky because this game is so hard to bet on. We've taken one person out of 150 plus every single week, except for this week's signature event. So that's a little different. But regardless, I try to take 10% of the field or less. Some weeks I go a little more than that. Some weeks I go a little less, whatever. So that being said, it was a great week last week. Thank you again for all who tuned in. I'll probably end up, me and LCT, we're talking about maybe doing another one of those episodes for each major potentially. So it was nice to have him on and have somebody who has the statistical data and follows the trends and just looks at betting golf a completely different way than I do. So it's nice to have that balance, I think, because obviously I go off purely off astrology and like when someone's career window might be open for them to have a breakthrough win. And there's nothing a bigger career breakthrough win than winning a major, or finishing a top 5 in a major, top 10, or just winning any given week on the PGA Tour. It's so hard to win, and all these guys talk about that every single week. So, yeah. So let's move on to this week. I'm going to write down my timestamps for you, lovely people. Where are we at? 7. Okay. So we're going to talk about this week's transits. It's kind of how I do every single episode. If you haven't watched by now, I basically will go over what's happening this week astrologically, and then we'll talk about the signs I'm going to focus on, and then we'll get into the picks, okay? So this is going to be our last tournament, unfortunately, under the Aries sun. I'm in Aries. My birthday was like a week ago. I love me some Aries season. It's the best. But the sun will be moving into Taurus on Sunday evening at 6:39 p.m. Pacific time, which will be 9:39 Eastern time. The tournament will be way over by then, obviously. So I'm not going to really focus on the Taurus sun until next week. I don't think it's going to have a huge part to play in this week's winner, because I do believe we can feel the energy of the incoming, the sign the sun is shifting into the next sign. I do believe we can feel that a few days before, or like the day of, or something like that. But there's so much Aries in the sky right now that it's like kind of irrelevant. So let's not worry about that. So last week under the Aries sun, okay? Just know that. And Mars is currently in Aries. And get this, as of tonight, Tuesday, Mercury will be entering Aries. There's going to be a lot of Aries. And Aries is also in Neptune right now and in Saturn. Yes, Saturn and Neptune, I believe. Ton of Aries in the sky. If you're feeling hot-headed, aggressive, like more than normal, or you're just like snapping quickly, or you're just impulsive, that's probably why. Just Aries is like such an impulsive sign. So if you're in your day-to-day and you're feeling that kind of, you're getting road rage, like, dude, it's a lot of Aries. So just take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. I live with this Aries sun. I can be a hothead at times, but I'm a Libra moon, so it's complete opposite of Aries. It balances it out a little bit, thank God. But man, a lot of Aries energy. Oof. And if you know anyone with Aries in their chart, I'm with you. It's going to be a tough week. Not a tough week, but it's going to be an intense week rather. That's how I'm going to put that. So how's that going to translate to the golf course? Well, it's going to be a very competitive week, I believe. So that being said, Aries Sun, Aries Mars, Aries Mercury, all this week, okay? And then we're not done yet. Venus is in Taurus, so there's a little bit of groundedness, thank God. And Jupiter is still in Cancer, so that's something to consider. Cancers, their career house is Aries, so there's so much Aries right now that Cancers are having a huge career window this week, especially. And we'll get into that, obviously. And I got to talk about the moon because the moon is the most important part of all of this. It's the closest celestial body to us. We feel day to day because the moon shifts every 2.5 days around us. What was I going to say? It just has like a really strong impact week to week on who may or may not play well. Okay. So with all that Aries in the sky, get this, the moon will also be in Aries on Thursday, really starting tomorrow, but our tournament starts on Thursday. All 4 of our tournaments starts on Thursday. So we're going to have an Aries Sun, an Aries Moon, Aries Mercury, and Aries Mars, Neptune, and Saturn on Thursday. It's going to be insane. Take a deep breath. But on the golf course, it's going to be a very competitive, I feel like high scoring day. Okay. So everyone's going to be going low, I think. So that being said, the moon's going to be in Aries all day Thursday. And then at 8:59 a.m. Pacific time, I go off Pacific time. I'm on the West Coast. So basically noon on Friday. So about halfway through the round on Friday, the Aries moon shifts into Taurus. Okay. It's going to stay there the rest of the Friday. It's going to stay there all day Sunday. And then on Sunday at 9:19 a.m. Pacific time, 12:19 p.m. Eastern time, they're on the East Coast this week. So I'd say about probably like right as the last group goes out, or maybe before, a little bit after, we'll see. It's going to hit Gemini for the Sunday finish. And Sunday, where the moon is on Sunday, is the most important part of this whole strategy that I follow. So yeah. So basically, this week is a huge career week for Aries placements. Cancer placements, really, Cancers are probably one of the main plays of the week because there's so much Aries. And Aries lights up Cancer's 10th house of career. That's what we're going after. Leos also get a big boost this week because the Taurus moon will activate, and Venus in Taurus. Taurus moon and Venus in Taurus activates Leo's career house. So Leos should be playing really well. Then Tauruses in themselves should be playing well because they have Venus and the moon on the weekend in their sign, and the Taurus sun is incoming. So maybe that's going to play an effect. But then Geminis on Sunday, especially, should be the biggest benefactors of them all. And also Virgo, because Gemini lights up Virgo's 10th house of career. So if I had to pick like one main sign for this week, I can't pick one, but it would probably be Aries, Cancer, Virgos, and maybe Leos. But Taurus and Geminis for sure will have big boosts because while I target the 10th house of career mainly, the first house of like self and identity, like when like a Taurus, right? If you're a Taurus sun and the moon is in Taurus, it lights up your first house, your Taurus sun, right? Gives you confidence, it gives you belief, it gives you clear-headedness. So I've seen a lot of winners have either a first or a 10th house kind of combination in there. Okay. So yeah. So basically Aries, Cancer, Leo, Taurus, Gemini, and especially Virgos are my picks for this week. Okay. All right. All that being said, let's now get into the first tournament that I'm going to talk about. It is the Senior Championship, PGA Champions Tour, the Senior PGA Championship, I believe is what they're going to call it. So let's talk about PGA Champions Tour. Sorry, I'm writing these. Okay. Well, if you want to single bullet it, and I got to write a parlay. I forgot. If you want to single bullet Stewart Cink at plus 550, do it. I'm probably going to do it. This man is the dominant force on the Champions Tour right now. He's killing it. He's plus 550. It's a kind of a crappy number, but if you just single bullet it, that's a pretty good number, I think. He's a Gemini sun, Mercury, and Venus. He's a Capricorn moon. He's a Leo rising. He's a Taurus midheaven, Pisces, Mars, Aquarius, Jupiter. The only bad transit in there, sign he has, is that Pisces, Mars. But with all the Gemini in his chart, the Earth in his chart, the Leo, the Taurus, and just generally being the best golfer on the Champions Tour, I don't think Stewart Cink's going to lose. Whoa, that was weird. Okay. It lost connection on my podcast site, but we're still going. We're still moving. All right. Sorry, a little over the place right now. That being said, Stewart Cink, I think, is going to win the PGA Champions Tour. I have 3 other guys that I think could play well, but I really didn't spend much time because I genuinely think Stewart Cink's going to win. I like Henrik Stenson at plus 1400 as well. Aries Sun, Mercury, Leo Rising, Taurus Midheaven and Jupiter, Gemini Moon, Pisces Venus, Cancer Mars. I don't know if he's played on the Champions Tour so far. This might be his debut. Don't quote me on that. But he's got Gemini, he's got Aries, he's got Leo, he's got Taurus, and he's got Cancer. That's 5 of the 6 or 7 signs I'm after. So Henrik Stenson could be a good pick too. Also like Padraig Harrington at plus 1600. Virgo Sun and Venus, Capricorn Moon, Scorpio Rising, and Jupiter, Leo Mercury, and Midheaven, Aquarius Mars. He's got Virgo, he's got Leo, and then, he's got some Earth and some air in there, so that should be all right. But again, I still think Stewart Cink's going to win. And then lastly, I like Bernhard Langer, plus 2,500. Virgo Sun, Mercury, and Mars. 3 Virgos in there. Libra Moon, Venus, and Jupiter. Libra's great this week because Libra goes well with Gemini. Also, Libra and Taurus are both ruled by Venus. So I feel like that does give him a little bit of boost. He's a Scorpio rising and he's a Leo midheaven. So he's got some Leo in that chart. And again, that's something that we are looking at for this week. Okay. But again, I really think Stewart Cink's going to win the Champions Tour PGA Senior Championship this week. So I might just single bullets Stewart Cink and move on with my life. All right. Now we're going to move on to our next one at the LPGA. And they are playing at El Caballero this week, which is a country club. And I've played it before one time because my buddy used to work there. It's an awesome course. Greens are super fast. That being said, they're probably going to destroy the course and make a birdie fest out of it because they're just amazing. All these girls are so freaking talented. But yeah, so, okay. This is tough because Hyo-Joo Kim is playing out of her mind right now. She won like 3 straight weeks in a row. No. Did she win 3 straight weeks? She won 2 weeks in a row. Almost had a third, I think. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But she's plus 1,050. She's the favorite. Cancer Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Midheaven. So she's got all that Cancer in her chart. And again, Cancers get lit up career-wise by the Aries. She's a Libra rising, which is great for the Gemini moon on Sunday. Aquarius moon, which is also great for the Gemini moon on Sunday. They're both air signs. But Aquarius and Taurus don't really get along too well. But her Mars is Virgo, and there's some Earth in her chart. And I think that's enough to get through the Taurus transit over the weekend. But mainly Virgo, again, gets lit up career-wise on Sunday by the Gemini moon. So if Hyo-Joo Kim's in the mix and wins it, I won't be surprised, and I don't really want to miss out. So I like that. I like that pick. But I also really like Minjee Lee at plus 1,150. Gemini Sun and Venus, Virgo moon, right there. 2 of the signs we're looking for. Leo rising, Taurus, Mercury, Mars, and Midheaven, and a Capricorn Jupiter. Again, she's got 4 of the 6 or 7 signs I'm after. Minjee Lee is 100% going to be in the mix, and I kind of like her a little better than Hyo-Joo. I genuinely think it's like one of these two, or even this third girl, probably going to win it. The next girl I have is Aki Iwai. Basically, like 3 of the top 4 or 5 favorites. She's plus 1,650. Aki Iwai, Cancer, Sun, Mars, Jupiter, and Midheaven. Again, so much Cancer in her chart that she's going to be playing amazing. And I know Aki plays really well in birdie fests. She's a Taurus moon. That's where the moon's going to be over the weekend. She's a Libra rising for some air in that chart. Gemini Mercury. She's got Gemini and a Venus Leo. Leo, again, gets lit up crew-wise by the Taurus moon over the weekend. I could see any 3 of these girls winning it. So I'm taking all 3. I'm going to take all 3. I don't care if their numbers are horrible. I'm taking all 3. And then I'm going to go in the winner without Hyo-Joo Kim, Minjee Lee, Miyu Yamashita, and Aki Iwai market. So the 4 favorites are out of this one. So I'm going to try to double dip my winnings here, okay? In this market, the without market, winner without market, I like Hannah Green at plus 1,700. Sagittarius Sun, Venus, and Midheaven. Taurus Moon, Pisces Rising, Capricorn, Mercury, and Jupiter, Mars, and Virgo. She's won this event before. I'm not 100% sure if she won it at El Cab. She may have. But her whole chart is basically fire and earth, and that's the theme of the weekend: Aries sun, Taurus moon. And then when the Gemini comes in on Sunday, her Mars in Virgo, it's a career sign. Virgo is lit up by Gemini's. Virgo's 10th house of career is lit up by Gemini. So, and she's playing great golf this whole year. So I think Hannah Green will definitely be in the mix, and I wouldn't be surprised if she finishes in the top 5 behind one of these other girls I just mentioned. Okay. Next, I like Brooke Henderson at plus 2,500. Although I don't know how much Brooke screams like Birdie Fest about her, but she's a Virgo sun and Mercury. She's a Sagittarius moon. She's a Scorpio rising and Mars. She's a Libra Venus, Leo midheaven, Aquarius Jupiter. So she's got Virgo, she's got Leo, and a Libra Venus is air. That goes great with Gemini. So not my favorite pick, but worth mentioning, a plus 2,500 in the without market. Next girl I like is Rose Zhang at plus 2,600. I like her a lot because she went to UCLA, I'm pretty sure. So I feel like she may have played this course before in her like young days, but she's a Gemini sun. She's a Pisces moon. She's a Leo rising in Jupiter. There it is, Leo. Taurus, midheaven, Mercury, and Venus. So much Taurus over the weekend. And Aquarius, Mars. Aquarius goes great with Gemini. Her Pisces moon is what scares me a little bit, but we're in Aries season and Pisces play well in Aries season. So Rose Zhang, and I feel like in a birdie fest, she'll probably play a little better. We'll see. Kind of worth mentioning. I also like Andrea Lee at plus 3,000. Leo, Sun, Mercury, and Venus. Gemini moon in midheaven. Virgo rising, Cancer, Mars, Jupiter, Pisces. 4 of the 5 or 6 signs I'm after. Andrea Lee is a great pick this week. Again, all in the without market, winner without market. And then 2 weeks ago, the winner, Lauren Coughlin, is plus 3,300. I think she plays better on tougher courses, so she may not tear it up like some of these other girls will, but Libra, Sun, Moon, and Mercury, so a lot of air. Virgo rising, that's what we're looking for. Taurus, midheaven, that's what we're looking for. Venus, Scorpio, Mars, Cancer, Virgo, Jupiter. Maybe she just carries the momentum right into this week and goes very low. We'll see. Also like Ayaka Fourier, plus 2,600. Gemini Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Mars. Pisces Moon, Aquarius Rising, Scorpio Midheaven, Taurus Jupiter. Everything in there except the Scorpio Midheaven and Pisces Moon is really good. But, I'm not expecting any of these girls to win, but if they finish behind any of the first 3 I mentioned up top, it could be a nice little double dip this week. Also like Minami Katsu at plus 2,400, Cancer Sun and Midheaven, Libra Moon and Rising, Leo Mercury, Gemini, Venus and Mars, Pisces Jupiter. Got the Cancer, got the Leo, got the Gemini. That's all I needed to see. I also like Jin Hee Im at plus 6,000 in the without market. Gemini Sun and Rising, Taurus Moon, Mercury and Mars, Aries Venus, Aquarius Midheaven, and a Jupiter Pisces. She's got a ton of Geminis, Taurus and Aries. 3 of the 6 or 7 signs I'm after. Love that. 2 more. Karis Davidson at plus 7,800. We're getting a little longer now. Cancer, Sun, and Mars, Sag Moon, Leo Rising, and Mercury, Taurus Midheaven, Gemini Venus, Pisces Jupiter. She played really well 2 weeks ago when Lauren won. So I feel like she found something, and maybe she'll go low this week. She got a lot of Cancer in that chart, and Taurus, or Leo rather. And then lastly, my long shot is Chinati Wanasayan, plus 13,500. Aries, Sun, and Mercury, Pisces Moon, Sagittarius Rising, Virgo, Jupiter, and Midheaven, Gemini, Venus, and Mars. She's got 3 or 4 of the signs we're after. So really like those girls this week, okay? Top 5, I'm going to keep it simple. Minji Lee at plus 285. Should be a lock, but I always hate saying that, but should be very, very good pick. Top 10, I'm going to go Hannah Green at plus 225. She's just playing great golf. She's locked in. Also, Andrea Lee at plus 325 caught my eye. She's got a lot of good placements in her chart this week for the ongoing transits, so we'll see how Andrea Lee comes out. Top 20, I'm going to go Jin Hee Im at plus 220. I'm going to go Karis Davidson at plus 270. I'm going to go Minami Katsu at plus 128. All right, so just keeping it simple with those 3. And then we're going to move on to first round leaders. Hold on, I'm going to make sure this is going to stop recording. Huh. Okay. Never mind. All right, first round leader for the LPGA. Hyo Kim at plus 2,700. Again, Thursday, it's going to be double Aries, not Aries, Sun, and Moon, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, and Neptune. So much Aries, which means Aries and Cancer should just be lit on Thursday. So Hyo Kim with all that Cancer in her chart at plus 2,700. I like that a lot. I also like Aki EY at plus 3,300 because, again, she's got so much Cancer in her chart for first round leader. I'm also going to add Heiran Ryu, who I haven't talked about yet, plus 3,400. She's like an Aries Sun, Venus, Pisces Moon, Mercury rising, Sagittarius Mars midheaven, Gemini Jupiter. I don't think Heiran Ryu is going to win because she's got too much Pisces in that chart, and Pisces and Gemini don't love each other. But to start off the tournament with all the Aries in the sky, her chart would just go so good with that. So I like Heiran Ryu in the first round. Also like Alison Corpus in the first round leader, plus 5,700. Pisces Sun and Jupiter, Sagittarius Moon, Cancer rising, Aries midheaven, Mercury Mars, and Aquarius Venus. That's a really good chart for day one with all that Aries in the sky. Also like Jin Young Ko in the first round at plus 6,600, Cancer Sun, midheaven, and Venus, Scorpio Moon, Libra rising, Gemini Mercury, Virgo Mars, Sagittarius Jupiter. Another chart with a lot of Cancer in there, so we'll see how that goes. Jin Young Ko, actually, she's got Gemini, Mercury, Virgo, Mars. That's pretty good for the weekend, but I like the other girls much better. And then lastly, like Karis Davidson at plus 8,400 to also be a first round leader potentially. A lot of Cancer in that chart. And then Chinati Wanasayan to be a first round leader. And I did not write down her first round leader. It's plus 11,000. That is a really good number. I just missed 10. Okay, she's got Aries, Sun, Mercury, Pisces, Moon, Sag, Rising, Virgo, Jupiter, Midheaven, Gemini, Venus, and Mars. Worth a little sprinkle. I don't go crazy on first round leaders because it's the hardest bet in the golf, I think, to hit. So first round leader, Hyo Kim, Aki EY, Heiran Ryu, Alison Corpus, Jin Young Ko, Karis Davidson, Chinati Wanasayan. All right. We are going to move on to our next tournament, which is LIV Mexico City. So let's get into it. All right. So this is a tough week with LIV. There's so many good charts that I wrote down, and there's only 50, 60 max guys playing LIV every week, and not 10% of that would be 5 or 6 players. I'm going a little crazy this week, even though I do think Bryson DeChambeau will win it. Bryson is plus 540. Hate the number, but he's a Virgo Sun. He's a Libra Moon, Mercury, Mars, and Jupiter. So much air in that chart. Also, Libra is opposite Aries on the wheel. And anytime there's an opposite, which is the 7th house, it kind of like puts up a mirror and kind of like it's kind of like a reflection on how you are doing compared to everybody else. I think it adds competitive fuel. And I also think Bryson is pissed about missing the cut at the Masters. That I think he's been grinding. He's going to come out. He's going to try to win a tournament. That's how he's going to heal his hurt feelings from missing the Masters, in my opinion. We'll see. So all that Virgo, all that Libra. He's a Leo, Venus, and midheaven. Okay, so he's got Leo. Leo's one of the signs we're after. He's a Scorpio rising. That's fine for this week. But the Virgo Sun with the Libra stuff should be lit up by the Gemini on Sunday. Again, they play 4 days now, not 3 days anymore. And then during the Taurus transit, his Leo stuff will get lit up. So I just don't think Bryson's going to lose personally. I think he's the best golfer on LIV as of now. I mean, Jon Rahm's obviously amazing, but I don't think Jon Rahm's going to win this week either. I faded him. But I like Bryson at plus 540. You want to just single bullet him. And before this show's over, I'm going to see. I should have done this before. I'm going to parlay a few winners from across these tournaments just in case they actually all do win. So like Bryson, I'm all over the place right now. I forgot my camera stops recording at 30 minutes, so I had to re-record that. So all that being said, I don't know where it cut off, but Bryson probably was going to win LIV. That's what I'm trying to say. We're moving on now to my next pick for LIV. I like Tyrrell Hatton coming off a great Sunday at the Masters. He's plus 1250. Libra Sun, Mercury and Mars, Capricorn Moon, Sagittarius rising, Virgo midheaven, Venus and Jupiter, and Aquarius Saturn. So yeah, uh, he's just got a lot of Libra. He's got the Virgo, midheaven, Venus, and Jupiter. Again, Virgo gets lit up by the Gemini moon on Sunday, and he should have enough to get through the Taurus stuff. We'll see. My next pick is Dean Burmester at plus 2,300. I think he is a very solid pick to win it this week. He's a Gemini Sun, Venus, Jupiter, and midheaven. A lot of Gemini. Taurus moon and Mercury. It's going to be a Taurus moon this weekend. Virgo rising, again, gets lit up by Gemini, and a Cancer Mars. Remember, Cancer is getting lit up by Aries. And also, Gemini goes great with Aries. So, Dean Burmester is like, he should be right there next to Bryson on Sunday, in my opinion. Now, because we're in Mexico, you got to take some Mexican golfers. And I really like Abraham Answer, plus 2,700. Granted, he's a Pisces Sun, Mercury, and midheaven, and that's not what we're liking this week, but he's a Leo moon and Jupiter. He's a Gemini rising in Mars, who's got Gemini in there for Sunday, and he's an Aries Venus. So he has some Aries in that chart. I think he'll be in the mix. That Pisces stuff worries me though, but Abraham Answer's solid pick. I also like Dustin Johnson coming off a decent week at the Masters, made the cut, finished like in the T30, 40, 50 area, but plus 3,300. Cancer Sun, Mercury, and Venus. Again, Cancer's all month long. Aries Moon. He's got Aries in his chart. Virgo Rising, Gemini Midheaven, Scorpio Mars, Capricorn Jupiter. He's got 4 of the signs we're after this week. And I think he just keeps the ball rolling from a good week at the Masters. And then my other Mexican golfer is Carlos Ortiz, a plus 3,100, who also missed the cut. Probably pissed about it. We'll see how he comes out. Taurus Sun, Virgo Moon. So he's got Taurus Sun. That's a great chart right there. Then Cancer Rising in Mars, Aries Midheaven and Mercury, Gemini Venus, Leo Jupiter. Fantastic. Plus 3,100. He's got to be motivated to be playing in Mexico. So I like Carlos Ortiz. And I also like Charles Howell III, plus 4,300. Gemini Sun, Venus, and Midheaven. Taurus, Moon, and Mars. Virgo Rising, Cancer, Mercury, Leo, Jupiter. His whole chart is every single sign we're looking for. So Charles Howell III is one of my top 5 plays this week, okay? And then I got to mention Anthony Kim at plus 7,600. Again, Gemini Sun and Midheaven. Cancer, Moon, Mercury, and Mars. Cancer in that chart. Virgo Rising, Taurus, Venus, Aquarius, Jupiter. It's going to be a great week on LIV. A lot of these guys are going to pop off. I really like all of those that I just mentioned, okay? So Bryson, Tyrrell Hatton, Dean Burmester, Abraham Answer, DJ, Carlos Ortiz, Charles Howell, and Anthony Kim. And I'm going to mention some long shots now. Long shots in LIV for me is anything over plus 8,000 just because it's a limited field. I'm going to maybe put baby units on these guys or wait to see how they come out and then live bet it. But these guys all have amazing charts, so I'm just going to mention them. Paul Casey, a plus 8,200. Cancer Sun and Midheaven, Virgo Moon, Libra Rising, Leo Mercury, Gemini Venus, Mars, and Jupiter. Again, every sign we're looking for, Paul Casey has it. I bet he's going to be playing really well. Peter Uline at plus 8,600 also, Virgo Sun and Mars. I wish there was a without Bryson and John Raw market because I would take all of these guys. Peter Uline, Virgo Sun and Mars, Leo Moon and Midheaven, Libra Mercury and Venus, Cancer Jupiter. He's got all the signs we're looking for pretty much, or at least 3 or 4 of them. So excellent pick, Peter Uline this week. And then this next guy, I think I'm going to take him outright before the tournament. Arnie Barn Lahiri, plus 9,200. Cancer Sun, Mercury, and Mars. There it is. Leo Moon. There it is. Virgo Rising, Gemini Midheaven and Venus, Aries Jupiter. Every single sign in his chart is exactly what I'm looking for this week. I fully believe Barn Lahiri will be in the mix. All right. I wrote down Jason Kokrak too, but I'm probably, I don't know. We'll see. He's got Gemini in his chart, Cancer, Leo, Taurus, Aries, all the stuff we're looking for, but he just never seems to like play as well as I hope he does. So we'll see about Kokrak, but I like Harold Varner the third at, is he the third? Harold Varner. It's Harold Varner plus 11,500. We're getting longer now. Leo Sun and Venus, Gemini Moon, Libra Rising, Cancer Midheaven and Jupiter, Virgo Mercury, Taurus Mars. Again, he's got every single sign essentially that we're looking for. So Harold Varner probably is going to play better than the books think he is. And then lastly, Cameron Tringali at plus 13,000. Get this. We're looking for Virgos, right? Well, he's a Virgo sun, moon, Mercury, Venus, and Mars. There's so much Virgo on that chart. Scorpio rising, Leo midheaven, Aries, Jupiter. Okay. So my long shots, Paul Casey, Peter Uihlein, Anirban Lahiri, Harold Varner, Cameron Tringali. I fully believe we're going to all play really well. At least 2 or 3 of them should. Okay. So LIV, that's kind of a lot of names. Take what you will from that. I might just single bullet Bryson, but I'm going to keep my eye on Dean Burmester, especially DJ, Charles Howell, Carlos Ortiz, Anthony Kim, Lahiri, Paul Casey mainly. But those other guys, man, you never know. Okay. So we shall see how that goes. So let's now. Oh, wait, sorry. I got some placements for LIV. Top 5. Bryson was like minus 1 something. I'm not going to take that because he's probably going to be there. Whatever. If you want to take the juice, go for it. But I'm not going to. I like Tyrrell Hatton at plus 190 to finish the top 5. We'll see. And also Dean Burmester at plus 310 to finish the top 5. I like Dean better than Hatton. Top 10, I'm going to go Carlos Ortiz at plus 170. I'm going to go Anthony Kim at plus 325. And Anirban Lahiri at plus 350 to finish in the top 10. One of those should hit. All right. Top 20. Peter Uihlein at plus 116. Cameron Tringali at plus 134. Adrian Moronk at plus 150. I haven't talked about Adrian yet. He's got a lot of Gemini and Aries. Gemini, Aries, Venus, Mars, Leo, Virgo rising. He's just a little erratic. So I don't know how if he can win it or not, but I can see Moronk peaking at a top 20 for sure. And then lastly, Anirban Lahiri at plus 110. It's kind of like the safe play of the week, but I think he's going to be a top 10er. So top 20, Uihlein, Tringali, Moronk, and Lahiri, okay? First round leader, I haven't talked about him yet, but Joaquin Niemann at plus 2050 is very intriguing to me. No, I got to look up Joaquin's chart now because he does have a Virgo Mars, but I don't think he's going to win. I don't know. I like Waco better for a first round leader pick. He's got I just had it. Sorry. Cancer Moon, and a lot of Scorpio, and a Sag Mercury. That should all go really well with the double Aries on Thursday, but especially that Cancer Moon is what I really liked about him. And then I'm gonna go Dustin Johnson at plus 2,900 in the first round leader market because he's got Cancer and Aries, and that's all I'm looking for really. Harold Varner at plus 6,100 also is interesting with the Leo, and he's got a Cancer midheaven in Jupiter. And he's got a Taurus Mars, and there's Venus and Taurus right now, so he should have a lot of career influence going on Thursday. Carlos Ortiz at plus 2,900 also. He's got an Aries midheaven, and again, it's going to be double Aries on Thursday. Abraham Ancer at plus 2,900 also because he's got a lot of water and fire in his chart, and that's really good for Thursday. Aries Venus as well. So watch out for Ancer to come out strong. Then I like Paul Casey at plus 5,200 with all the Cancer in his chart. And then Anirban Lahiri at plus 5,200 with all the Cancer in his chart as well. Okay. So I like all those guys to be first round leaders potentially. And then double chance bets. I'm going to take 2. Bryson or Tyrrell Hatton at plus 350. It's pretty good to me because, I think Bryson's going to win it. And then the other one is Bryson or Dean Burmester at plus 425. I really like Dean too. So if I had to pick one, it'd be the Bryson Burmester double chance bet at plus 425. And then lastly, 3 chances to win, triple chance. Again, I think Bryson's going to win, but this one is Abraham Ancer, Carlos Ortiz, or Dustin Johnson at plus 900. I could see any 3 of those guys potentially winning. Bryson doesn't do it. At least we get something a little bit there, okay? All right, now we are done with LIV. So let's move on to the main event, PGA RBC Heritage. And I'm going to try to get us out here in the next 10 to 15-ish minutes, okay? All right. So I talked about Cancers. We talked about Virgo. We talked about Gemini. Those are 3 of the main signs we're looking for. Now, when it comes to who I believe will win this week, I said it before, especially because Scotty looked great last week, right? He was even par going into Saturday, and he finished one behind Rory in second place in the Masters. Like incredible. Okay, basically, it's kind of a preview of like what's the next couple months is going to look like. I fully, wholeheartedly believe Scotty is going to become Scotty Scheffler again in the next, starting this week. Really starting last week, but he's going to start winning tournaments starting this week. And he's probably going to go on like a 2 or 3 month just killing spree. Also, Rory is going to be playing really well for over the next few months. So we could get our Scotty Rory, duos finally, like in a final pairing on a Sunday, in one of these majors or in one of these weeks coming up. But obviously, Rory's not playing this week. So that being said, the last time I took Scotty was the Genesis, and I learned the hard way that he was not in form yet. In Pisces stuff, lights up Gemini's career house, and he's got a lot of Gemini's out in his chart, but it just didn't work out. I don't know what it is, but here's what I do know: that anytime there is some sort of Gemini in the sky, Scotty Scheffler usually wins because he is a Cancer sun, which again, Cancers are going to be lit up career-wise by all the Aries in the sky this week, especially. He's a Virgo moon and rising, which again, with the Gemini moon and even the Taurus moon is going to vibe perfectly with Virgo over the weekend. But here's the best part about Scotty. He's a Gemini midheaven, Mercury, Venus, and Mars. 4 Gemini placements in Scotty Scheffler's chart. Capricorn, Jupiter, that's whatever. But basically, if there's Gemini transit going on during a tournament, Scotty Scheffler wins. Like I don't think I've ever seen him lose unless with the Gemini placement in the sky. So when we're going to get a Gemini moon on Sunday, if Scotty's anywhere near the lead or in the lead, it's over. Like it's over. Like I think he's going to go solo on Sunday. Also, all the Aries goes great with Gemini. It's only 2 signs away from Gemini. That's a really good combination. Again, if you want to just single bullet Scotty, plus 385 is the last number. Last time I saw his number. Just do it. I just go big on it. I don't know. Do what you want to do. But I'm going to take Scotty Scheffler to win. I fully believe he's going to win. He's going to be in every single one of my DFS lineups. I'm going to work around it because there's no cut this week. But yeah, I feel really confident in Scotty Scheffler this week. So that being said, let's do something real quick before I give you the rest of my without Scotty market picks. I'm going to go Scotty Scheffler to win the RBC Heritage. I'm going to go Stewart Cink to win the PGA Championship. And I'm going to go Bryson to win LIV Golf. Guys, this is a plus 20,076 3-man parlay for them to all win it. Scotty, Bryson, Cink, plus 20,076. Put $1 on it. Put a baby unit on it. Don't go crazy on that. But that would be nuts. In fact, let's just for fun, let's add Minjee Lee, because I think Minjee Lee is a great pick too. That goes to oh my God. This goes to, hold on, paste. Minjee Lee. Plus 252,100. Put 10 cents on that. Put a quarter on that. Scotty, Bryson, Stewart Cink, Minjee Lee, all to win their tournaments. Plus 252,100. That's crazy. I'm just doing that for fun. That's absolute. I'm going to put no more than literally $1 on that just for fun. That'd be crazy. But I just had to do that because I feel really confident in all these guys. But I think Scotty's going to win the RBC Heritage. Okay, now the rest of these guys are going to be all without Scotty market picks / DFS plays. But again, if you want to just stop right there and just take Scotty, I don't blame you at all. I think Matt Fitzpatrick should have a great week. Plus 1475. Virgo, Sun, Mercury, Cancer, Moon, and Mars, Scorpio, Rising, Jupiter, Leo, Midheaven, Libra, Venus. You won here before. Virgo, Cancer. That's all I'm looking for. Matt Fitzpatrick. Also like Russell Henley, Hen God, as they call him. Plus 1475 as well. They're without Scotty market. Aries, Sun, Venus in midheaven, Cancer, Moon, and Rising. Right there, you got it. He's got two of the signs we're looking for. Taurus, Mercury. He's got some Taurus in there. Gemini, Mars, and Jupiter. He played amazing last week. He should be coming hot out of the gates. He's a very great approach player, and that's what you need to have at this course. I like Siwoo Kim. I never take Siwoo Kim because Siwoo and Scotty have near identical charts. And if you're going to take one, you got to take Scotty. But Siwoo in the without Scotty market, I like that a lot. Plus 2350. Cancer, Sun, and Moon. Virgo, Rising, and Mars. Gemini, Midheaven, Mercury, and Venus. Sagittarius, Jupiter. He's got every sign we're looking for essentially. So I like Siwoo. I also kind of like Bobby Mack, plus 2450. He's a Leo Sun, Aries Moon, Libra Rising, Cancer, Midheaven, and Mars, Gemini, Venus, Capricorn, Jupiter. He's got a lot of the signs we're looking for. Like, even if Scotty wins, it's going to be competitive, dude. There's a lot of scoring I think that's going to happen this week. Aries is all about offense. It's all about being bold, going for pins, darting things, believing that you can do something before there's any proof of it. That's the theme of Aries. So watch out for that. Sorry. Okay. I also like Jordan Spieth, guys. Yeah, I wrote so many names down, but do what you will with this. Like DFS or just without Scotty market outrights, plus 2,500. Leo Sun, Scorpio Moon, Libra Rising, and Jupiter, Cancer, Midheaven, and Mercury, Gemini, Venus, Virgo, Mars, dude. I'm not a big Spieth believer, but like he plays well here. He's won here before, and he's got 4 or 5 career signs this week. So it's worth a look. And I also never take Sam Burns, but plus 2,900 without Scotty market. Leo, Sun, and Mercury, Scorpio Moon, Libra Rising, Cancer, Midheaven, Gemini, Mercury, and Mars, Capricorn, Jupiter. He was hitting enough greens last week for me to just think he's going to continue it. He's a great putter. He's got a lot of Gemini in that chart. Leo, again, gets lit up by the Taurus stuff over the weekend. Cancer, Midheaven, guys. Sam Burns is very live to play amazing. Also, Sap Straka, plus 3,700. Taurus, Sun, and Midheaven. Virgo, Moon. Leo, Rising, and Mars. Aries, Mercury, and Venus. Libra, Jupiter. Not one bad transit in this chart. He should definitely be in the mix. Sap Straka. I also like JJ Spawn, plus 4,100. Leo, Sun, Venus, Midheaven, and Jupiter. He just went a couple weeks ago. Scorpio Rising, Virgo, Moon, and Mercury. Taurus, Mars. Dude, it's kind of frustrating how many players have amazing charts this week. And I truthfully, I don't know how to narrow it down. I was going to mention Harris English, but I didn't. I didn't bold his name because I don't know. But Harris English has a ton of Leo and Aries in his chart, and a Cancer Midheaven, and a Gemini Jupiter. Do you get what I'm saying? There's so many good charts this week. It's nearly impossible. But I like Ryan Gerard, plus 6,200. Leo Sun, Aries Moon, Virgo Venus and Rising, Taurus Jupiter, Gemini Midheaven, Cancer Mercury, Scorpio Mars. He's kind of started off the year pretty well, and then he kind of faded away. But I feel like Ryan Gerard should come right back into the mix this week, okay? And then we're getting a little longer now. Harry Hall, plus 6,600 coming eye. Leo Sun, Virgo Moon, Mercury and Venus. And a Cancer Rising. I'm pretty sure Aries Midheaven, I think. Mars Libra. I feel like he's probably better at positional courses than any other thing. Good putter. So Harry Hall is very live to play well. Rio Hisatsune, a plus 7,200. Virgo Sun, Midheaven and Mars. Libra Moon and Mercury. Sagittarius Rising, Scorpio Venus, Leo Jupiter. He's been having an amazing year. Why wouldn't he continue going at a course that probably suits him pretty well? I didn't bold these next two, but Michael Thorbjornsen with all the Virgo in his chart, Leo Venus, he's interesting. Probably won't take him though. Keegan Bradley also with a Gemini Sun, Moon, and Midheaven, Cancer, Mercury, and Venus, Virgo Rising, Capricorn, Mars, Pisces, Jupiter. Keegan's kind of been playing bad though, so I don't know about that, but if he, spikes this week, I won't be surprised. It's just such good stuff in his chart. Okay, but the last two I will mention on this until I get some long shots. I like Brian Harmon too, at plus 7,800. And if it's a short course, you got to take Brian Harmon. Cap Sun, Virgo Moon, Taurus Rising, Aquarius Midheaven and Mercury, Sag Venus, Aries Mars, Pisces Jupiter. He's basically Earth and Fire with an Aquarius Mercury and Midheaven. When the Gemini Moon should light up his Virgo Moon's career house on Sunday, but Yeah, actually now that I speak it out loud, maybe Brian Harmon isn't as popular for me now. But I do like Sudarshan Yelamajaru. I'm gonna jump on that guy's train. He's playing out of his mind, plus 9,600 in the without Scotty market. Cancer Sun, Aquarius Moon, Midheaven, Taurus Rising, Gemini Mercury, Venus, and Jupiter. A lot of Gemini in this dude's chart. Sagittarius Mars, but he's got the Cancer, the Taurus, Gemini. That's all I'm looking for. So watch out for Yellow Mirage. I love that last name. And then long shots again, and this is a DFS. Keep DFS in mind for this. I throw baby units on long shots if I even take these guys, but Taylor Pendrith is very interesting, plus 13,500. Gemini Sun and Midheaven, Capricorn Moon, Virgo Rising, Taurus Mercury, Cancer Venus, Leo Mars, and Jupiter. Everything but the Capricorn Moon is amazing in his chart this week. So we'll see how Pendrith comes out. I know he's a long hitter, but he's pretty accurate, I'm pretty sure. We'll see. Austin Smotherman at plus 16,500. Taurus Sun, Virgo Moon and Rising, Gemini Mercury, Venus and Midheaven, Aries Mars, Jupiter Scorpio. Amazing chart. He's a killer approach player. I won't be surprised if Smotherman pops off this week. Three more. Nicholas Echeverria, who we got the outright hit on at the Cognizant, plus 23,000. Leo Sun, Mercury, and Midheaven. Cancer Moon, Scorpio Rising, Jupiter, Virgo Venus, Gemini Mars. He's got Virgo, Gemini, Leo, and Cancer. That's all I needed to see to consider Nico Echeverria. I also like Patrick Rogers, you guys, a plus 24,000. Cancer Sun, Moon, and Mars. Virgo Rising, and Jupiter. Gemini Midheaven, Leo Mercury, Taurus Mars. Every single sign in his chart is one of the signs I'm after career-wise this week. Patrick Rogers could definitely pop off and play way better than the number they're giving him. So for DFS, watch out for Patrick Rogers, especially. Lastly, I know he's the longest hitter on tour, and this is the short positional course, but he's clubbing down and he's on his game. Aldrich Potgieter is very interesting to me, plus 70,000. Listen to this. He's got Virgo, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Midheaven, Mars, and Jupiter. So much Virgo in that chart, which is going to vibe excellent with all the Taurus in the sky and especially the Gemini Moon on Sunday. He's a Leo Venus, so he's got some fire and a Sag Rising, 2 fire signs to go with the fire earth combination this weekend. But the Leo Venus should get lit up by the Taurus Venus and the Taurus Moon over the weekend. So I watch out for Aldrich. Just because he's a long hitter doesn't mean he can't club down and play, positional golf as well as anybody else. So we'll see. A lot of names there. I'm not going to repeat them. I still think Scotty's going to win it. So if you want to just go with that, do that. But if I had to pick a few favorites for the without market, it's Fitzpatrick, it's Henley, it's Siwoo, Spieth, Straka, Spawn, Gerard, Hisatsune, and long shots would be Smotherman, Pendrith, and Echeverria and Rogers. But you guys, it's just so hard. And I didn't spend enough time to narrow down a little more. I'm trying to get out of here pretty quickly, but do with that what you will. All right, top 5, top 10, and a couple fun bets, and I'm out of here, okay? Top 5, Fitzpatrick at plus 300. Really good to me. Russell Henley at plus 300 also should work. And then a little parlay of Scotty and Fitzpatrick to finish in the top 5 at plus 720. I like that a lot. Top 10, Siwoo Kim, plus 198. That's pretty safe to me. Sepp Straka at plus 300. I like that. And JJ Spawn at plus 320. I like that a lot. Jim Carrey, Dumb Dumber. I like that a lot. Top 10, I like all of those guys, okay? Top 20, Brian Harmon, plus 205. Ryan Gerard, plus 170. That's probably the safest pick right there. And then Taylor Pendrith at plus 305, a little risky, but I like Pendrith's chart a lot. Top 20 out of 80 guys, something like that. We shall see. Top 30. I'm going Sudarshan, Yellow Mirage at plus 134. Nico Echeverria at plus 225. And Patrick Rogers at plus 235. All in the top 30, okay? Top 40. Aldrich Potgieter, plus 158. David Lipsky at plus 130. Lipsky's got Cancer, Leo, and Virgo, and Gemini in his chart. So I think Lipsky could pull out a top 40. He played well, a month ago when he lost to Fitzpatrick. So I like that. All right, player to win wire to wire bet. I'm going to go Scotty Scheffler, plus 3,000. That's the highest number you're going to find Scotty. If he's in the lead all 4 days and wins it, there you go. You just won plus 3,000 off Scotty Scheffler. You never see that. One double chance bet, one triple chance bet. My double chance bet will be Scotty Scheffler or Russell Henley at plus 270. So whatever, just add it to the list. And then my triple chance bet is Scotty, Fitzpatrick, or Ludwig Aubert at plus 220. I haven't talked about Ludwig. Does have a very favorable chart. Has a Virgo midheaven and a Virgo Venus and a Leo moon. But he's got Capricorn in this chart. And I don't know. I love Ludwig, but I'm not convinced yet he's going to win one yet. Soon. He will win one soon, but I don't know if it's this week. But if he does win it, at least I have him in the triple chance bet. Okay. First round leaders. Going crazy on this because I hit Rory last week, but I just go like 0.2 units on these. I don't go crazy. Okay. But Scotty Scheffler plus 1225. You got to take it. You got to just take it. Fitzpatrick at plus 2,700. Again, I'm targeting Cancer and Aries for this. Fitzpatrick plus 2,700. Russell Henley's probably the best chart for Thursday, plus 2,900. First round leader. Jordan Spieth is very interesting with the Cancer midheaven at plus 3,500. Also, another Cancer midheaven guy is Sam Burns, who was also a first round leader last week, plus 3,800. Also, Sepp Straka, a lot of Aries in his chart, plus 4,300. Harris English, a lot of Leo and Cancer in his chart, plus 5,200. Ryan Gerard, a lot of Aries in his chart, plus 5,800. Yella Maraju, plus 7,200. He's got Cancer in his chart. Denny McCarthy, I haven't talked about him, plus 8,600. McCarthy's got a lot of Cancer, a lot of Pisces, and a lot of Aries in his chart. So that's a really good chart to have for Thursday's transits. Nico Echeverria at plus 10,000 with a lot of Cancer in his chart. Patrick Rogers at plus 10,050. Going a one head-to-head matchup parlay. I just parlay all these picks together. I don't take them individually. It comes out to plus 2,000 this week. Going Rio Hisatsune over JT Poston. That should be a close one, though. JT could play really well. Going Michael Thorbjornsen over Sahith Theegala. Going JJ Spawn over Ben Griffin. Sepp Straka over Bridgman. And Siwoo Kim over Sam Burns. Plus 2,000. I don't feel confident in that at all. Just saying that. But I wanted to put one in there. And lastly, top UK and Ireland, we're going Matt Fitzpatrick, plus 240. We're going top rest of the world, Siwoo Kim at plus 325. Top Canadian, Taylor Pendrith at plus 335. Top continental European, Sepp Straka at plus 360. Sorry to rush through there at the end, but I'm trying to get out of here. So basically, if you take nothing else away from this show, Scotty Scheffler should win. I think Bryson's going to win. I think Stuart Sink's going to win. I think Minjee Lee, Hyoju Kim, or Aki Iwai are going to win the LPGA. But any of the other names I mentioned should pop off if you're playing DFS. But yeah, so I'm going to try to end this right now. Thank you all for watching. Sorry, I just a lot going on in my life right now that I'm just a little over the place. Thanks for watching. If you haven't liked, shared, and subscribed yet on YouTube or Spotify, please do. I really, really appreciate it. Next week is the Zurich, which I really like that because it's combos and duos. So I really feel confident in picking which pair should win. I had Ben Griffin and Andrew Novak last year, so we'll definitely look forward to that. And yeah, if you have questions or sponsorships you want to send to me, whatever, starsandparspodcast@gmail.com. Hit me up there. I'm also on TikTok, stars.and.pars.po. Make little videos every Wednesday or so there. And then follow, share on YouTube or Spotify. I really appreciate you all. Let's have a great week. Let's keep it rolling. We're going to keep hitting our winners, and we will see you guys all next week. All right. Take care. Have a good one and be safe. See ya.